Have you ever wondered what happens when the two major political parties in the United States cannot agree on something as fundamental as who should serve on the federal bench? There is a procedural tool in the Senate that can bring the legislative process to a grinding halt, especially concerning presidential appointments. The Senate changed its filibuster rules for judges primarily to overcome persistent political obstruction to judicial nominations. This procedural shift, often referred to as the nuclear option by both parties when invoked, allowed a simple majority vote to end debate on presidential nominees for federal judgeships, rather than requiring the traditional 60 votes. Historically, the filibuster was used to delay or block legislation and presidential appointments by requiring 60 votes to end debate. However, during the early 2000s and 2010s, its use to block judicial nominees became much more frequent. This led to a backlog of unfilled judicial positions and increasing frustration from the executive branch and the Senate majority, who felt their constitutional power to appoint and confirm judges was being undermined. The core mechanism behind this change was a reinterpretation of Senate precedent by the presiding officer. Instead of changing the standing rules of the Senate, which itself requires 67 votes, the majority party initiated a vote to establish a new precedent that a simple majority of senators present and voting could overcome a filibuster on judicial nominations. This move effectively lowered the threshold for ending debate on these specific appointments from 60 votes to 51 votes. This significant change means that presidents now have an easier path to appointing their preferred judicial candidates, as long as their party holds a simple majority in the Senate. This has accelerated the pace of judicial confirmations, allowing presidents to reshape the federal judiciary more rapidly. It has also intensified the stakes of Senate elections, as control of the chamber directly translates to greater influence over judicial appointments. Understanding this rule change is crucial because it highlights how parliamentary procedures can profoundly impact the balance of power within the government. It demonstrates a direct link between Senate rules and the composition of the federal courts, which in turn affects the interpretation of laws and the administration of justice for years to come.